What if I told you that I could prove that Canelo is being hypocritical when he pushed Caleb because he said MFer? If you want to know about that, stay tuned to this video. Yeah. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Listen, you guys don't know how far these likes go. Encourage the video so others can find the video. Somehow, some way you found the video, and let others and lead them to this video by leaving a comment and also sharing and throwing a like on this video. Very simple stuff. Now, Canelo versus Caleb Plant, really it's blown up. The virality of the clips is crazy. This is the face-off. You see the height differential. Canelo looks in shape. Caleb Plant looks in shape. And it should be a good fight. They had some beef at the press conference, one of the more entertaining. I would say probably is the biggest, most entertaining press conference that I could recall from Canelo Alvarez. Now, I had to make this video, you know, and the Canelo Man fans, they're going to be angry with it, but there's a bit of hypocrisy from what Canelo did and said. He pushed Caleb Plant, and I've talked about this, and I made videos about this, and he states that nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to talk about my mama, right? He says, don't talk about my mom. You see right there. And he says that's why it led to this situation you guys see. They were talking. Caleb Plant allegedly said something about his mom, right? And that's when it became too personal, and Canelo reacted, boom, pushed him. Caleb Plant walked up, feinted with the right, slap, and then, you know, the melee broke out. All this, again, is based on Canelo saying, don't talk about my mom. Now, Caleb Plant, post-fight, he said he didn't talk about Canelo's mom. He says, my mom was shot. You know, she's deceased, so why would I be talking about anybody's mom? You know, and Canelo turned this into like he brought family into it, and that's not entirely true. Caleb Plant, this is what he said on his social media. You'll never hear me talk about someone's mother, kids, or wife. When men go off to war, they leave women and children at home. So he's saying, I didn't say nothing about his mom. But what he did say is he called him an English word, you know, English curse word, an MFer, a mother ucker, you know. And Canelo had such a problem with this, which we'll get into in a second, with this language. And people are saying, oh, it's a language barrier. He doesn't understand. It's not literal. In America, when someone says MFer, it doesn't mean in the literal sense. You know, it really has nothing to do with your mom. That's how the word is used. And that's still not acceptable, and I'll explain why. But I'm the greatest when it comes to this boxing talk. During this live press conference, I talked about this, and I'm like, why would Caleb, these are all things, and you guys will see when I play the clip. I said, why would Caleb Plant, knowing that what happened to his mom, which he later said, and I'm saying this live in the Canelo Caleb Plant press conference, I said, why would he have taken it there? So it has to be some kind of misunderstanding or whatever, because that really didn't make sense to me. And then come to find out, when it was all said and done, Canelo was upset that the word MFer was being thrown around, and he took it personal and said it was something about his mom. But I'm going to show you the hypocrisy with Canelo. Make sure you guys subscribe, and it's just diva behavior. So the first clip you will see is me in real time on the live stream, me being the greatest to do this behind the mic in boxing, with this boxing talk in the digital space. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Beyond that, I called it out, and I was the first person to call it because it's in real time and live. I said he called Caleb Plant an MFer in this same press conference, and he said it to Demetrius Andrade, which we'll get to. So I'm like, yo, how is it that Canelo is taking such offense to this word? Roll the clip. That's why it didn't make sense to me. Why would Caleb Plant, whose mom passed away, why would he be saying something about somebody else's mom? See, y'all just go for anything. Y'all go for anything. Why would Caleb Plant say something about Canelo's mom and his mom passed away. Like, come on, bro. That didn't really sound right to me. To me personally. I didn't understand. I was like, why would he say, you know what I'm saying? But y'all were like, no, he said something about his mom. No, ego. So he refutes that. He said he didn't say nothing about dude's mom. Another reason why it's hypocritical is Canelo called Demetrius Andrade an MFer. He said, get the out of here, mother, right now. And I'm trying to censor it. He called Demetrius Andrade and Caleb Plant a mother effer in the press conference. So what are we talking about? So how are you going to push and punch Caleb Plant? That's why I said it's out of character. How you going to push and hit him and all this stuff? Because he said, use the word MFer and say, hey, don't nobody talk about my mom. Right? You're going to say all that. And you said it to Demetrius Andrade, that same word, MFer. So what's that about? So you can see this is a clip from me yesterday, and I'm saying in real time, how are you hypocritically getting mad to the point of physical contact, pushing Caleb Plant because he used the terminology mother effer when you were calling him that too, and you called Demetrius Andrade the same thing. So let me continue to roll the clip. You said it to Demetrius Andrade, that same word, MFer. So what's that about?
Right, let's go. We don't get to ask you a simple question. All right, what you gonna do? Fuck you. Get the
out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Man.
Beat me. Come beat me. Come beat me, bro. Come beat me then.
Get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
Exhibit A. So in my videos on my channel, we are going to be consistent. I'm real big on equality. This is Demetrius Andrade pulling up on Canelo's press conference, and you just heard it, the hypocrisy. And the Canelo fans, they don't want me to talk about it, but I got to talk about what's real. This is Canelo Alvarez post Billy Joe Saunders victory. When Andrade pulled up, he called him the same word. So how is it that Canelo is able to say this word and it's all good, but nobody else can seemingly say this word? I'm going to replay it for the fans.
Fuck you. Get the
out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Man.
beat me. Come beat me. Come beat me, bro. Come beat me then.
Get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker. A ver. Oh, look at this guy.
So Canelo Alvarez is able to say the same word like I just said at the beginning of the clip, and there's no ramifications. Demetrius Andrade didn't run up and push him or hit him, but no one else can do this but the honorable Canelo. Come on. We got to keep the rules consistent with everybody if they're quote unquote rules.
Come beat me, bro. Come beat me then.
Get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker. A ver. Oh, look at this guy.
We're very
Now leads me to the next clip. The Canelo hypocrisy continues, and his fans ain't gonna get away with it. Not on my watch. We gotta be equal. It's all about equality. Canelo Alvarez. This is him after he had an intense, heated weigh-in with Danny Jacobs. Listen to what Canelo had to say.
A ver. Oh, look at this guy.
We're very respectful throughout the whole promotion. And all of a sudden this happens. How did this come about?
Tienen miedo. Eso es miedo. Yo no tengo nada que decir. Solamente como lo voy a decir en español para que todos se me entiendan porque es puro mexicano. Que chingue su madre. Su madre.
So once again, how is he saying this to Danny Jacobs? So that's two black fighters, and he said very similar things in English and in Spanish, and everybody's mad at Caleb Plant. Oh man, y'all gotta do something, baby.
Lo voy a decir en español para que todos se me entiendan porque es puro mexicano. Que chingue su madre. Su madre.
Look, I see fear. And that was fear right there, what he did.
So peep that. This is the translator, you know, when he was with Golden Boy. That's Roberto Diaz translating. And he says, Danny Jacobs is fearful. I see fear because of what he did. So I showed you Canelo said it in English and Spanish. English to Caleb Plant. He said it in English to Demetrius Andrade. Said it in Spanish to Danny Jacobs. And the translator says it's fear. So that's the rest of what Canelo was saying. Danny Jacobs is fearful, and he said he's seen fear at the weigh-in. That's why it resulted it. Because all Danny Jacobs did is they went nose to nose, head to head, and it's fear when Danny Jacobs does all that. But Canelo, he pushes, and I told you that Canelo was out of character with Caleb Plant because he physically heard the MFer and got mad and pushed Caleb Plant. So how is it fear when a black fighter, Danny Jacobs, goes nose to nose with you at a heated weigh-in or whatever, and you say F his mother, right? And the crowd is clapping and you hear applause because he said Viva Mexico or something right before that, and everybody is rejoicing. But when Caleb Plant is talking greasy, it gets too hot to handle and you push him. Oh, man, this is a bad look for old media, man.
Que chingue su madre. Su madre.
Look, I see fear. And that was fear right there, what he did. And I'm going to say it in Spanish so everybody understands. And you understood. Everybody understood.
So you're not going to say it in Spanish?
No.
See, he wouldn't even repeat it in English what Canelo said. But I got y'all.
This is a...
So in case you don't know the translation, you see it on the screen. And I had to censor this video, but you guys see it. Urban Dictionary in case you don't speak Spanish. So yet again, how is it okay for Canelo to say and do these things and get cheered for it, but then Caleb Plant is all of a sudden a bad guy when he says something similar? So I've showed you evidence of Canelo saying it in English, calling people MFers, and for the Canelo bunch, it's all good. It's all good, and they're cheering and clapping that Canelo did this and said this. Yet Caleb Plant gets pushed over it. Demetrius Andrade gets no fight, and it gets escorted out. And then you have another black fighter, another Al Heyman fighter in Danny Jacobs, and he said "chinga su madre," you know, at the weigh-in, and that's okay. That's okay for Canelo to do this and to exhibit this behavior, but no one else can do it. Like I said, in my opinion, Canelo's a great fighter, but he's a diva. You can't have a set of rules and everybody else got to play by the rules except for you. So hopefully in this video, I've exposed the facts, I've exposed the truth, and showed you what was up. We can't have these double standards in boxing. If we're allowed to use certain words, and it's funny because you know the WBC, we back Canelo, right? All this stuff broke out and the WBC ain't said nothing about it. They ain't said nothing about it. But they were the same organization that said they're going to try to get to the bottom of it and eliminate trash talking for boxing. So Canelo and Caleb Plant are able to scuffle. Canelo post-fight Jacobs, he said "chinga su madre," and you have the fight with the Demetrius Andrade press conference. He's able to do all this stuff lawlessly, and the WBC, when Andrade, or excuse me, when a guy like Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, when he says something like he want to catch a body, then it's all this politics about, oh, we got to get better and we got to stop saying this. This is supposed to be a nice sport and a gentleman's sport. But Canelo Alvarez can seemingly do whatever he wants at all times and have more clenbuterol in his system, have drug test failures in his gym, and then also use the same language that he's not willing to tolerate from guys like Caleb Plant. So it's a bad look. And like I said, I'm real big on equality. If we're going to have a rule, then that rule need apply to everybody. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.